Hello bookish besties and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be starting out a reading vlog. Today we are going to be starting mood reading to get me out of a reading slump. You may ask yourself, what is a reading slump? It's when you can't stinking read. And it's annoying. I have been struggling to read because it's so hot out. I've been busy and I've just been lazy. So we're going to try to take a step back, force myself to read some books, film some stuff for you guys, and have a good old time. Like I said, we're going to be mood reading to get myself out of this slump so I can make more content for you guys, so I can read more books and have a fun time. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to show you guys what I'm reading right now, and then I'm going to show you a little mini TBR that I'm going to pick off of for the mood reading for the week. The most recent book that I've picked up is The Troop by Nick Cutter. It is a horror book, and I have really been in this mood to read horrors, paranormal, anything spooky, creepy. I think this whole slasher summer is really getting to me. So I picked this up. It is about a group of Boy Scouts that go to this remote little island 3 miles off the coast of somewhere in Canada. So they go out there with their scoutmaster, and this really hungry guy comes onto their island, and all of a sudden there's infection spreading, and the boys have to survive nature, themselves, and this whole infectious disease that's going around. There's mixed media, so there are some interview style things within the book. So far I'm liking it. I'm not loving it. I wanted it to be a little bit maybe more original than what I'm getting from it right now. Right now I think it's sitting at a 3, and I'm 164 pages in on chapter 23. It just feels a little bit too bland. It feels a little bit too overdone, I guess. It just feels too typical for me, and with horror books, I normally like to have something super outlandish that really gets me and really creeps me out, and so far this book hasn't done that. I'm hoping to finish this very soon. I only started it a few days ago, and I'm already halfway through, so I have high hopes for this one to at least be interesting enough for me to finish it. Then what I'm reading both on my Kindle and physically is Mistborn. This really put me in a reading slump, and it's not because it's bad. I don't know if it's because it's just a really slow book, because it is the setup novel for the whole series, so it is moving a little slower. I am on I'm somewhere around page 200. So far, I love Vin, I love Kelsier. I think the magic system in this world is awesome and so unique. I won't talk about this one too much because I am currently filming an entire Mistborn reading vlog. So you guys will see more of my thoughts on this book in that, but I'm really loving it so far, and I have created whole mood boards for this, and I even printed some Kindle stickers. That's how obsessed I am with this. Then for a manga, I have Witch Hat Atelier #1. I really love the art style of this one, and the story is really cute. I am just really slow with reading manga because I feel like I actually have to sit there and imagine it playing out like an anime panel. So it takes me a little bit longer to get through these, but this is another one that I'm hoping to finish this week. So now I'm going to pick out a small little mini TBR of books that I will want to choose from this week, that when I finish one book, I can pick the other one up, and we can just keep on going and try to get on a really good roll of filming and reading this week. I picked out a small little TBR, so I'm gonna go through book by book so you guys can see what I'm gonna be choosing from this week. So the first book is Leather and Lark. As you guys know, I was obsessed with Butcher and Blackbird, so I have high hopes for Leather and Lark. Yeah, it's just about Rowan's brother and Sloane's best friend. Again, it's got that dark, spooky vibe, so I'm really hopeful for this one. Another book that is on the mini TBR that I'm going to be choosing from is The Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent. First of all, I think this book is stunning. Second of all, it is about Lady Trent, and she is a dragon naturalist, and I'm pretty sure I heard that it's paleontology vibes, science adventure vibes. So I'm really very excited for this one, and it's a whole series, so I can't wait to read this one and then continue with the series because I think I'm really gonna like it. Another one is Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. This one's gorgeous. The cover gives cottagecore, coffee shop, tea vibes, and then the art in it is just beautiful. So this is about two girls, and they open a bookshop that serves tea, but an assassin takes one of the girls hostage. It says, what follows is a cozy tale of mishaps, mysteries, and murderous queen throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum, while these two women discover just what they mean to each other and the world. So I love it. It's sapphic, perfect for Pride Month, and it is just stinking gorgeous. And it's giving all the cozy fantasy vibes. Then I'm really excited because I got my first Terry Pratchett book. My husband loves Terry Pratchett, and you know, the concept sounded good to me, but I am such a person that if the cover's really, really ugly, I won't buy it. And Terry Pratchett books only came in that really horrible mass market paperback where it's like this big, and I cannot read those words. They're too small. So they started reprinting his books in this larger format with these beautiful covers. It's giving such witchy vibes, which again, I'm all in for. So this is The Color of Magic. It's Discworld, a wizard's novel. I'm really excited, and it's such a short book, and I've heard that his humor is very funny. I'm really excited to get into this world. I heard it's very unique, and I know a lot of people that really liked it that kind of have my same style. We like the same type of books, so I'm really excited for this one too. Another one that I picked up just the other day with my friend Carly, we went to the bookstore, and this one just sounded too funny not to pick up. It's called How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. So this is a complete like comedic fantasy. So this woman is stuck in like this time loop of trying to destroy the Dark Lord. He's like this all-powerful being, but every time she keeps dying, and every time she dies she comes back to try to do the same thing over again. And she said this time she's done trying to kill him. Now she's gonna become him because she thinks this is the only way to like win this game, or to just win whatever this is. It just sounds so funny. There's so much cursing. So it's basically just like a spoof of a fantasy adventure novel. I just think it's gonna be a great time. I'm really excited, and I think there's gonna be more in this series because it says it's one. So let's hope. So that is what I'm currently reading, and that is my mini TBR that I'm going to be choosing from this week. I really hope that you guys can help me get out of this reading slump. I think I'll be really motivated to film and to read all these great books and to put together a really lovely reading vlog for you guys, because I really want to start doing weekly reading vlogs because I just think they're so much fun. I just have to get out of the mindset that I have to be perfect while filming all the time. I just want to show you guys me unapologetically. So I am going to get back to reading The Troop, and I will give you guys an update after I've read a little bit. So I will see you guys in a little bit. A reading update. So I read a little bit more of The Troop. I didn't really explain to you guys much of what it was before, but it is basically, there's like this man that comes on the island and he has a bioengineered nightmare inside of him. So it's basically has to do with, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. He just carries this infectious disease that is man-made, so we get to see like the interviews and some other stuff from the scientist that kind of created this. So it's really interesting because it's like a horror book that's like not based off of like, you know, a serial killer or some other aspect like that. Like it's a scientific horror book, I guess you can say. So I'm really enjoying it because, as some of you may know, I am a scientist, so I really like when things are like rooted in science like that. So I think it's really interesting to see that like this scientist was so determined in his work that he created something, I'm not gonna say what, but he basically created something that kills you instead of helps you. So he was so crazed for results that he was kind of just ignoring all these really bad things that are happening. And then his human trial subject, you know, ran away, ended up on this island with these poor boys, and it's making me really sad because there's like 5 boys and they're all like 14. So you feel for them right off the bat because they're so young. And then you get all of their like interactions, you get their personalities, you get like their relationships with one another, so you really get to be attached to these boys in a short amount of time. So it makes it much more sad when things happen to them. and you just feel bad for them because they're very scared. They don't really know what's going on. They don't know how to handle any of this. But I feel for the one kid so bad. They bully him because they labeled him as like the fat kid, and I feel for him so hard. His name is Newton, and I love him. And then there's Max and Ephraim that are like best friends, and I love them so much, even though Ephraim is like a little wild. And then Shelly is just so creepy. He freaks me out. I think there's something really wrong with that kid. And then Kent is just a little crap bag, but I do feel bad for him too, because they all are all very scared. But I really don't know where the rest of this book is going. Like, I feel like this could have been a shorter book, but I know they have to drag it out, you know, because they've got to create that tension, and there has to be something to kind of like push the story along. But I do like the writing. It's very gross and very visceral and very descriptive, so I do appreciate that. It really grosses you out sometimes, which is supposed to, so but it is a little wordy at points where you're just like, oh dear God, you could have just said that in 2 seconds. But that's where I am right now. I am gonna read more, so I'll update you guys in a little bit. It is now Wednesday, and I just want to give you guys a quick update. So I finished The Troop by Nick Cutter. I loved it and I hated it. That was my first true like horror book that I've read, and I guess I was expecting more of a happy ending. I don't know why, because horror books, you know, you can't expect happy endings from them. But I did give it a 4 stars. As I'm sitting on it more, I definitely think it's between like a 3.5 to 4 stars. But you know, Goodreads won't let you rate anything half or quarter stars. So it's sitting at a 4 star right now, but the more I think about it, it's probably at a 3.5. It was more of like a scientific horror, which I really liked. It involved like C. elegans / hydatid worms, and I worked with C. elegans on my undergraduate research, so that was really fun to see, like something that I actually knew and had worked with, like involved in this crazy like biological warfare weapon, basically. The mystery that unraveled trying to figure out why this happened / where it came from was really interesting. That was done through like a mixed media, so through like interviews, different articles, stuff like that. I thought that was really interesting because then we weren't switching viewpoints too much. We were getting the viewpoints from the boys on the island, and then we were getting like everything that was being written about what happened afterwards. So that was really interesting, and the conclusion that came out of it was also very interesting. The writing was beautiful. Nick Cutter has a very, very nice writing style, very descriptive, not always beautiful, but beautiful writing in a disgusting way. The imagery was awesome. The gore was very cool. It was very creepy at points. You know, I could feel my face being like, oh, okay. And that's what I really wanted. There weren't too many bad things. It's just like things that I didn't love. I didn't love the way it made me feel. It made me very, very sad a lot of the time. There was a little too much animal cruelty that I had to really like skip pages of, and I didn't love that. So many people died, and I just didn't want them to, so that was one of my gripes. Overall, it was just a really quick, fast-paced, disgusting, gory book, and it served its purpose. I didn't love the way it made me feel, but maybe that's just the way I feel about horror, so I think I got a little too attached to the characters, and they were just so young that it made me so sad. Yeah, but overall, it was a good time. I'm happy that was my first horror book. Now I want to go into some other stuff. I definitely want to start reading some Stephen King soon, so we'll see what happens there. I am off from work today. It is Wednesday currently. Off for Juneteenth, so I've had the morning to just chill and relax. It is now around like 3 or 4 o'clock, I think. I'm not gonna lie, I did take a nap. I think I'm going to be picking up, I'm gonna be reading, so I like to read Mistborn on my Kindle too, so I like to read that at night when I want to turn the lights off, so I'm like slowly working my way through this. I didn't read any more last night, but I know I'm gonna read more probably today. And then I'm going to be picking up Leather and Lark, and I'm really excited about this. Like I said, Butcher and Blackbird was my first 5-star read of this year. You guys know, I've said it over and over, but I am meeting this author in August. Just want to read all of her stuff that she puts out, because I really love her writing style. And again, I guess I'm going into something really gory again, but at least this one's got a romance in it, and I don't think anybody is going to die, so let's hope not. My plans for the rest of the day are to read. I'm gonna go to my parents for dinner. Later, I was thinking about, I made some stickers through Staples. So I just took like images and put them on Canva, and then I printed them out on the glossy paper from Staples. Something about cutting those out later, so I'll show you guys that. And then I was also thinking about maybe doing some book journaling later. I have to catch up on like all my monthly spreads because I decided to start in like May. So I will give you guys a reading update later, and I can show you some of the fun things that I'm planning on doing on my day off. I'm back with an update. It's been a few days since I've talked to you. I have had a crazy busy week. I've been doing some little renovations to my book room, spending a lot of time with family. We had a really fun pool day today. Today's Saturday, so I think the last time I talked to you was Tuesday or Wednesday. Currently thundering out right now. I don't know if you can hear that. I haven't done much reading because, like I said, I've been spending a lot of time with family. But I did read like a chapter of Leather and Lark. I already know I'm gonna love it because Lark is so unhinged and chaotic. So I already know I'm gonna be obsessed. Other than that, I haven't really been doing much. I have been spending way too much time on bookstagram and on reels and stuff like that. These are my romance bookshelves. You guys have never seen these, but I did add little lights. I think it looks so cute. I am fixing the ones on my fantasy shelves right now because they're falling off. It's a whole thing right now. But I can show you some of the things that I've added to my book room. So my plan for tonight is to fix the lights on my bookshelf. I'm going to read some of Leather and Lark. And then I want to cut out some of the stickers that I got printed at Staples. So I'll show you guys me cutting those out and probably redecorating my Kindle. Other than that, it's just going to be a very, very chill night. I feel like I'm still in a slump. I read The Troop really fast, and then I feel like once I finish a book, it's like hard for me to get into another one. So I feel like that's my biggest problem right now. So let's keep mood reading, and we'll see where the wind takes us. But yeah, those are my plans for the night. So I'll take you along on my little journey. But I will update you guys when I have another lights / reading update. And hopefully I'll cut out all those stickers and put them on my Kindle. So, alright, I'll be back. Okay, so these are my romance bookshelves. I love them. My manga's on the bottom. Those are mostly romance, and then special editions. My little book table. I added these shelves, and then I added that, which is all of my special like Sarah J Maas pins. It's Valaris, Terrassin, and Crescent City. So that little area looks so cute. That's gonna be a gallery wall, that whole thing. Then my little book chair is a mess right now. Then we've got my disaster of my closet currently. Those are like my newer books. And then over here, I'm fixing the lights on these shelves because they kept falling off. So those are the vibes right now. I did a few, and I realized how bad I am at cutting, so I think I'm gonna have my husband do the rest. But like, here's one of Vin from Mistborn, then another Mistborn one, then I have one more, another Mistborn one, then I did But Daddy, I Love Him. So they don't look too bad, but like there's like wonky edges, so whatever. Field to Dragonkind. Field Guide to Dragonkind. I did this little guy. He's in mood. It's just a beautiful fairy. Feeding in peace. Team whoever the villain is. And then open to book recs. So those are the ones that I cut out so far. I'm not gonna put them on my Kindle yet because I really like my Kindle setup right now. It's like, oh good lord. It's just all girly pink, bookish, Kindle, hockey, cowboy, everything that I've been loving. I just yeeted that Kindle case. That's staying on the ground. So I have a bunch more left. So like in my romance era, I did some anime ones because I'm obsessed with Mashal right now. And I have this cute little Care Bear. And these are the other characters from Mashal. Then I did a lot of Spy Family. So I did a bunch of Anya. I did a Jeep because I drive a Jeep. And I did little Anya and little Chimera, and I did macarons. Then I did more Anya. This one's my favorite. I did Dark Romance, the Kajari tournament, because I'm meeting Carissa Broadbent in August, and I was like, why not? I did more little Froggy guys. I did Igor Shesterkin, he's my favorite. Bone Carver, Little Cherries, Hockey Romance, Lollipop. I did some cowboy ones, some more little froggies. I'm obsessed with the little frogs. I did one from Witch Hat Atelier. This was just pretty. More cowboy. Free Ren. I did another free ring for my husband. This is for my husband. This is for my husband. This is for my husband. I did another Witch Hat Atelier. I did Cherry, Disco Cherries. This one's for my husband, and these are for me from Witch Hat Atelier. So I think I'm gonna have him, maybe have him finish cutting those out. Maybe I'll do it another day, but I did not realize how, one, time consuming that was gonna be, and two, how bad I was gonna be at cutting them. So I am now gonna go dedicate my time to reading Leather and Lark, and if I get far enough tonight, I will give you another update, and then I'll show you the update for the lights right now. So here's how they're looking right now. I just redid them, so they're like a little tighter now. You can see how it looks. I'll be up above the door and down, but I think it looks good. I like it. They're a little more yellowy than I wanted them to be, but I just want it to be like cozy little cottagecore vibes, so I'm happy with it. So I just read about 20 pages of Leather and Lark, and I love it. Lark is literally just so unhinged and crazy, and I don't know, it's just so funny. Not much has happened. It's just setting up the premise, I think, of her and Lachlan meeting. Those of you that don't know, Lachlan is Rowan's brother in the first one, and Lark is Sloane's best friend. She already mentioned Sloane, so basically Lark is on a mission to make any predators pay for what they've done. She was preyed upon in college by her like art director or whatever, and Sloane like came out, so she's made it her like life's mission to take out any predators. That's kind of what's going on. And then Lachlan, we didn't really get a sense of what he's doing yet, but I think he was on like whatever cleanup crew that was in the first chapter. So far it's like the first one, It's just as crazy and gory and graphic. It's still very much so serial killer vibes. Yeah, I guess Lark would be considered a serial killer. She's killed more than one person now, so I guess. But again, the way they twist it in the story to make it not as bad is they only take out really bad people. So she's, again, like I said, focusing on predators that prey on like younger women and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. So far I'm liking it. I like Brynne Weaver's writing. It makes it go by so fast. And it's funny because like in the first like actual chapter, not the prologue, she refers to the guy, which I think is Lachlan, but they don't say, they just kind of like hint at it. She calls him Budget Batman because he's in like a wetsuit and like a ski mask, so she calls him Budget Batman. So I'm already loving their banter. I think it's so funny because in the beginning he is only saying like one word to her, so he's like drunk, like to ask her if she's drunk, and she's just like yelling at him. And I always think it's so funny because whenever a guy only speaks like one word, I always imagine him talking like a caveman. I don't know why. Those are the vibes so far. I know that they have to like get married, so it's like a forced marriage, and I'm excited to compare it to the first one, so we'll see how it goes. But that's gonna be my last update for tonight. I might go read a little more, but it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning and I am so tired, so I will probably give you guys an update tomorrow. Hello loves, I am back with a coffee and an update on Leather and Lark. It is now Monday of the next week that I'm filming this because I'm still not out of my reading slump and I want to get about 3 books in this video. So we're gonna continue with Leather and Lark, and then I'll probably pick something up after that. And hopefully I can get this video done by the end of the week. I should have a little iced caramel latte, I guess? I don't know. I always put whipped cream on top of my coffee because it makes me so happy. It's my whipped cream mustache. Don't judge me. I have a lot to update you about for Leather and Lark. So I'm now on page 110. So I feel like I've been reading this at a faster pace than I normally read regular books. I just love Brynne Weaver's writing. Her characters are so good. Her banter is so funny, and I feel like the way she tells stories is so fast-paced that it just hooks me. Let's start by talking a little bit more about Lark. So I think I had told you last time we talked that Lark takes out predators, and by takes out, I mean takes out. So again, it is a very gory, gruesome book, but I like that. So if you guys don't like that, don't read this book. But as I said, she takes out predators. And then we have Lachlan, who is Rowan's brother from the first one, and he is a contract killer. He's like stuck in this really bad contract with this one guy, and he can't get out of it for like the rest of his life. We go into a scene with Lark on Halloween where she needs a cleanup crew, and there's this broody guy that she calls Budget Batman, which is probably one of my favorite nicknames of like anything. So I love when characters come up with hysterical nicknames for each other, and Budget Batman was so funny because he's like in this like scuba suit with like a ski mask on, so it's just so hysterical, and it's on Halloween. That is just some random guy, but for those of us reading that have read the first one, we know it's Lachlan based off of his accent and based off of the way romance books work. So they don't know that that's each other. Then we skip a year and her and Lachlan meet for the first time, like officially, through Rowan and Sloane when Rowan is opening his second restaurant. They have a whole moment, and that tension in that moment of them on the balcony is so hot. I cannot. The tension literally had me curling my toes. I don't know how she creates tension like that, but like sometimes in a romance book I'm just like, I kind of like feel the chemistry between these two characters, but I don't really love it. But this, the chemistry was there. So already obsessed. And then their animosity kind of starts. I won't go further into that because I don't want to do any spoilers, but if I can say one thing about this book so far, my favorite character is Auntie Ethel. She is your typical, made herself from the ground up, little old lady that pretends to be senile, but is actually still controlling the world, and nobody knows it. She schemes in the best ways, and I'm just obsessed with her. That's who I want to be when I'm older. Like, I'm gonna read you this, like this little description of Ethel. It says, Her hair curled in a halo of white waves, her floral dress billowing beneath a glossy black fur coat, even though it's a mild October day, an ebony cane clutched in her hand. I want to be the old lady on a hot day that wears a fur coat. Maybe not a real fur coat, but a fake fur coat. I just want to be that girl. She is my everything. I can't. But yeah, I really like where this is, and I really enjoy that Sloane and Rowan are still like not main characters in this story, but they're still pretty present. Like, we've seen Sloane a bunch, and we've seen just like her attitude towards Lachlan so much, and I'm just obsessed with Sloane. I was obsessed with her in the first one. I'm very excited we're seeing her in this one as well. And I really enjoy seeing the relationship between her and Lachlan, because we didn't get to see that in the last one. So that's exciting. And another one of my favorite things, so like I said, I love nicknames. Lachlan calls Sloane Spider Lady, because if you read the first one, she's the orb weaver. So you'll get that if you've read the first one. If not, I don't want to spoil anything for you, so. But he calls her Spider Lady. And then we're getting this third point of view called Phantom. And he's like, well, I think it's a he. Well, he or she is targeting Sloane, Rowan, Lachlan, and Lark. So technically, he's targeting, technically they're targeting Lachlan like outright. They're making it look like Lachlan is like taking down Lark's family, and then they're trying to like pin Lark's murder on Lachlan, so he loses his brother. Sloane would lose her best friend, and then Lachlan would lose her too, and then Lachlan would lose Lark, who people think that he's actually in love with. So basically the whole premise is Lark is trying to protect Sloane and Rowan, and she's trying to protect Lachlan and her family. So everything's riding on Lark, and I love her so much. I can't wait to get into more of her music, because I already know it's just gonna be gorgeous. And I love that she's this like badass that can like just turn off her emotions and hide them, but she's also this like beautiful bright ray of sunshine whenever somebody needs it. So I'm totally obsessed. I think this is giving definitely between 4 and 5 stars. I have to see the progression of the rest of the book plus her relationship with Lachlan, so we'll see how it goes. It could be another 5-star, which would be insane because I gave the first one 5 stars, and that would be literally everything Brynne Weaver has written in this series. I would give 5 stars. I am very excited to see where this goes. I will give you guys another update when I read more. To give you my final thoughts on Leather and Lark and finish up this reading vlog. Now you may be asking, why are you in the same outfit and in the same spot as in the intro? Well, let me tell you something. I hated my original intro, so I refilmed it, so don't ask questions. Anyway, I gave it 5 stars. Let's just start off with that. Absolutely adored it. Lark is one of my favorite female main characters now. She's such a badass. She had such good character growth. She learned to love and be open and trust people. Lachlan had wonderful character growth as well. He also learned to love. They kind of overcame their traumas together. He learned to care about others and get over the fact that losing someone you love is horrifying, because don't we all have to get over that fact? But it was beautiful. I loved it. Auntie Ethel, one of my favorite characters of all time now. She is just like that badass old, basically gangster that created this company and this entire industry for herself. She upkept it herself, she defended it herself, and she basically controls everyone's lives without them even realizing it, and I love her for that. And I loved Lark's arts and crafts. That made me laugh. And then Lachlan's discovery that she is a multiple deleter. He was so shocked, and I loved that. Very unhinged woman of her, but she was such an amazing, well thought out character, and so was he. Like I said other times in this vlog, I loved that we saw Rowan and Sloane a lot in this. It was fantastic. So the only downside, I guess, to this entire book is I didn't understand like the Phantom's point of view. I didn't really catch on to who that was. I didn't really catch on to where it connected to the rest of the story. So it felt like that all happened in the last like 40 pages of the book. So that felt a little bit rushed. It felt like the climax came too late. But I did really enjoy everything else. I feel like this one was more about the characters, less than the story, like, and everything going on around them. Basically, I love that Lachlan found people for Lark to kill, and then he just cleaned it up and put their heart in epoxy and gave it to them. Because why not? I love their quirky relationship, I guess. The dog was one of my favorite parts. But yeah, I loved that we went from instant attraction to kind of enemies to lovers to, you know, the forced marriage for convenience and them growing. So basically, I'm obsessed with that book. I don't know how it got such bad ratings. I could see, again, maybe with the plot, but I followed it so much for the characters and their slow burn and all of the nicknames. Blunder Barbie, Budget Batman, that made me laugh so hard. Their banter was immaculate. It is unmatched. I will be making all of the Pinterest boards, all of the collages, everything, because I'm obsessed with their vibe and their little silly goofy relationship. So I am going to end the vlog here. Thank you guys for watching. I know I only read 2 books, but I can feel that I'm out of my reading slump. I have been reading more often and just reading things that I want to read and not feeling like I have to read specific things. So I'm definitely out of my reading slump, and was taking me like a week to read. I mean, it was taking me like 3 weeks to read a book, so getting 2 done in 1 week was absolutely fantastic. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you're watching this far, please leave me some kind of little bird emoji in the comments to signify our lovely singing bird Lark. Thank you guys for helping me get out of my reading slump, and as always, happy reading and love you, bye!